Testing. Hey, folks. It's Shantae Wolf, campaigns director. Real quick before we get started, I just want to flag that we have some amazing t-shirts over there at the table. So please see Antonia, who's sitting over there with her mask on, and make sure you get you some great t-shirts and signs. We'll get started shortly. Thank you.
Good afternoon. God bless everybody. When I say grandmas, you say care. Grandmas? Grandmas? I knew y'all would be able to pick up on that real quick. Because that's how we roll, right? My name is Valerie Long, and I will say that my claim to fame in this group is that I'm a grandmother 5 times over. My oldest granddaughter is 18. My youngest granddaughter is 10 months. And I got a lot of them in between from one son, one only child. God help me, but that's where it is. So when I knew this action was happening today, I said, I gotta go. I was just hoping to hang out with y'all. And then, of course, all of our coalition partners said, can you MC? I'm like, all right, I'll MC. Because the other badge I wear is Executive Vice President of SEIU. So thank you all for being here. This is like near and dear to my heart. We're standing here outdoors in the view of the Capitol Dome. We're reminded that inside, on the serious tip, that people are paying their respects to the late Senator Bob Dole. We join the Congress and the nation in the commemorating of this lifelong public servant and honoring his commitment to support veterans and people with disabilities. So all about, oh, you're a veteran? Veterans? Yeah, that's right. Thank you for raising your hand about that. Thank you so much for your service. And we respect Bob Dole's service advocating for veterans in all due respect. For our program today, let me extend a very special thank you to our partners, Caring Across Generations. Shout out, Caring Across Generations. You're out there. Thank you. Signage from them helping put together this event. And it's many co-sponsors in the care community. My colleagues at SEIU, NDWA, the ARC, Family Values at Work, Moms Rising. I just met a person from Moms Rising when I was here today. I don't see that sister, but very seriously, thanks to that. Be Hero Fund, Justice in Aging, and Adapt. Adapt gave some shout outs and some snaps. It takes all of us. It takes a village. And it takes all of us being committed to our grandchildren. It takes all of us being committed to our care community. And we are steadfastly fighting for the Build Back Better plan to be passed. We need to make this happen, and all of our gathering together makes it possible to put the pressure on the powers that be to get it done. In the fight to enact Build Back Better, grandmothers are speaking out to Congress today. When I heard that grandmas were coming to D.C. to demand a bold investment in care and paid leave and for the Senate to pass Build Back Better by Christmas, I personally said, as I said before, I'd be here, but you all are here too for the same reason. We have an opportunity to gather together to amplify our voices. And that's what this action is today. Being a grandma, to me, means that we're part of a special club of women who share a fierce determination to make our world a better place for our grandchildren. It is our responsibility to make a better world for them while we are on this earth. And it's part of our legacy to do that. So I think that you would agree that that's what we're about today. As grandparents, we'll do whatever it takes to create a better future for our children and grandchildren, to fight for a better world, whether we're Black, white, Latina, Asian, indigenous, immigrant. We can live up to our hopes and dreams, and more importantly, their hopes and dreams. A world where they're safe and secure, a world where moms and dads can go to work knowing their children or their aging parents have the care that they need. Because sisters and brothers and my trans family, no matter our race, where we were born, or where we live as parents and grandparents, we're fighting for the same things. Amen. It's why we're showing up today and why we and other care champions have been fighting tirelessly to bring about a change in our broken care system. And it is broken. The fact that we have to fight so hard for common sense stuff just reiterizes the fact that it's broken. It's why you all have sent letters, made phone calls, held rallies, and raised our voices. It shouldn't be this hard to do what's right, but that's where we're at, and we will continue fighting. It's why we've taken to the streets. It's why we're out here today. It's a little chilly. I got my COVID booster last night. I'm feeling a little bit crappy, but this is important, and we need to rise up and do everything that we can. President Biden and our champions in Congress heard you, and they fought alongside us to deliver a historic investment in care. The Build Back Better legislation gives us a shot to truly begin reshaping our economy. Care work isn't just a calling. It's the difference between people living with dignity and independence at home, and it allows people to go to their own jobs. We've always known that to be true, but this pandemic has actually become a wake-up call to how fundamental care is to our day-to-day lives. It's why workers need to be paid enough to put food on their tables, not just survive, but actually thrive. Some snaps on that. That's what we need to do. We need to create jobs for women and women of color who have always historically cared for us. We need to ensure that every child, every senior, every person with a disability who needs care has it, and that families are not grappling with how to pay for it. They don't need that pressure. That needs to be an undergirding of our infrastructure. We need a national comprehensive paid leave program that would make sure that when life happens, a new baby, a sick parent, an illness, working people can still afford to pay their bills and have a job to return to. And we need to do this so others can get back to work and our communities and economy can continue to grow. Are you all feeling this? Am I hitting the right notes? Because I don't want to just read words on the page. We need to feel this because the fight happens after we get out of here too. For the first time in months, I actually see some momentum and some light at the end of the tunnel because of your efforts. We're seeing some momentum, but we need the light to be brighter. It's time for the Senate, particularly, to pass Build Back Better in its entirety, to build the more resilient, inclusive, and equitable recovery and deliver a historic investment in America's working families of all races, all economies, all classes, whether you're Black, brown, indigenous, whatever. We need this bill to be passed. Let me just lead a couple of little chants and let you guys be with me. When I say care can't wait, you say care can't wait. Care can't wait. Children can't wait. Families can't wait. Care workers can't wait. Grandmas won't wait. That's what I'm talking about. It's time for the Senate to get this to the president's desk. Stop playing games. Stop playing your partisan politics. Get this to the desk. Get it to the desk. So right now, hopefully my little script is right. I'd like to introduce Nicole Jorwick, Chief of Advocacy and Campaigns at Caring Across Generations, and her special guest, Mr. Bill.
And just like care workers and family caregivers are used to, we're going to do a little pivot because obviously Mr. Bill is not here yet. And most importantly, we have a very important and special guest with us. Our next speaker is well known for his leadership on care and caregiving, Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania. He chairs the Senate Special Committee on Aging and sponsors the Better Care, Better Jobs Act in the Senate, and sponsors anything that helps aging adults, people with disabilities, and care workers. Welcome, Senator.
Let's hear it for Nicole. Hey, I want to thank you all for being here. Who is supposed to be up here, Mr. Bill? I'm not him. Okay, I just want you to know that. But I'm grateful to be here with you, and I'm grateful that you're moving your program around because I know you have to make adjustments. But the first thing I want to say is thank you for doing the work that you're doing. The only reason the United States Senate is about to pass Build Back Better is because of you, because of your voices, because of your work, and apparently because of grandmothers. That seems like that's making the difference right now. I am so honored that you invited at least one grandfather. I'm one of them. But before we get to grandfathers, put your hand up if you're a grandmother. Thank you, grandmothers. Apparently, when we need to get things done around here, we have to make sure grandmothers are leading the fight. But I do want to mention that I am a grandfather, and my grandson Max is in California. So if you could just yell really loud, he might hear you. That's great. Because Max told me he wants Build Back Better passed. He believes, like you do, we all believe, that care can't wait. And I'll tell you, I like that the better formulation was grandmothers won't wait. But I do want to thank you for all the work that you're doing. This is about our country. This is about whether or not we're going to deliver on the promise of better care, better jobs, and a better future for our families. This is about lowering costs for families. You know, some people are running around Capitol Hill. You've got commentators and reporters and others saying, you know, this Build Back Better bill is so big and it's complicated and there's so many parts to it. But how do you talk about it? It's real simple. This is about lowering costs for families. That's why we want to make sure that families that have the child tax credit, getting a couple $100 extra every month, they can still get that in 2022 like they're receiving it now, right? About lowering their costs so that when they go to the grocery store, they can afford the food that they need. And by the way, the child tax credit is helping families afford the purchase of food. We know that a lot of families are paying more for care. It's not only backbreaking to provide caregiving, it's expensive for the family. And the federal government has to do more. That's why we're going to pass, as part of Build Back Better, the first ever investment in home and community-based services for seniors, for people with disabilities, and we're going to lift up the workforce. Those women who are doing that heroic, essential work, those women who are mostly women of color, paid only $12 an hour. That's not the America we want. We want to make sure that we say to the world, care can't wait. We got to pass Build Back Better. Now, that brings us to where we are today. You're only a couple hundred yards from that building behind me. But the one side of that building did its job already. The House passed the bill. I'm on the side of the Capitol. Well, let's first clap for the House. We should do that, right? Sorry to interrupt those clapping, because my House colleagues would be mad at me if I did that. But now it's on our side, the Senate side. And we only have one party working on this, right? So far, I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's some kind of Christmas or holiday miracle. So far, It's only one party, the Democratic Party, working on this. The other side is checked out, right? Did they support the child tax credit in the rescue plan? No. Did they support the money that was the beginnings of the investment in home and community-based services? Nope. They didn't support that either. Did they support the provisions of this bill? They're not supporting it. So we talk about early care and learning, investments in child care and pre-kindergarten education. They're not supporting that, but we are. And we got to get it done. So we've got to get so much done for our families because people are hurting out there. People are still recovering from the pandemic. People are having trouble making ends meet. I mentioned folks using the child tax credit to pay for their groceries. They're also using that to pay for school activities that their children wouldn't be involved in unless that child tax credit and other help was allowing them to do that. So we have a lot of work to do, but one of the best ways to be inspired is not only to be here with you and to hear your voices and your stories, but to hear from folks back home. I'll give you one example. I had the privilege, and it is a privilege, to travel to my hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania, which happens to be the hometown of President Biden. So we went up there in October, and he wanted to talk about a lot of things under the broad heading of Build Back Better. But as part of that, the president wanted to meet with some northeastern Pennsylvanians who have disabilities. So we had a chance to meet with folks at the end of his visit. And just before his visit was over, I was standing next to Brandon Kingsmore. Brandon is in a wheelchair, and I met him so many times before and heard his story that I wanted to make sure the president heard his story. But even more important than Brandon's story about himself, I wanted to make sure the president heard what Brandon had told me about his caregiver, Lynn. And Lynn, in so many ways, represents all the caregivers in this audience, all the caregivers in your families, all the caregivers across our country. So when we talk about Care Can't Wait, I'm thinking about what Brandon said. Here's what Brandon Kingsmore, just one American, but one American who's receiving the benefit of good care, in this case from Lynn. He said, and I'll quote him directly, and he told the president this just right next to, standing right next to him. He said, quote, "I would not be able to have the life that I have without Lynn." And then he said this, he said, "They give us a substantial life. They give us a substantial life." He was talking about caregivers, that the caregiver is giving that substantial life to Brandon and so many others all across our country. So when the president was listening to Brandon, you could see the impact it was having. He was thinking about the caregivers that have helped his family long before he was president. He was thinking about the caregivers in this audience and all across this country. So President Biden knows, and Vice President Harris knows, that care can't wait. Brandon and Lynn know that care can't wait. You all know that care can't wait. And now that I'm informed that grandmothers won't wait for that caregiving to land in a Senate bill, we have to get to work. All I can say to you, other than to say thank you, is to plead with you to keep up the fight. Keep organizing, keep mobilizing, keep sending those messages to Democratic senators so that we get this done by the end of this year, preferably before Christmas Day. Care can't wait. Thanks for making it happen. God bless you.
Thank you again, Mr. Senator Casey. So we're going to keep it moving, keep it rolling. We now want to welcome Representative Debbie Dingell up to the stage. Representative Dingell understands firsthand what it's like to be a caregiver and that it's long past for our robust investment in the care economy. She's been a champion for care and caregiving, and in fact, co-sponsored the Better Care Act in the House. Representative Dingell, can I invite you up? And I'm loving that coat, I'm just saying.
I'm shorter than Senator Casey, but I'm telling you, I could not have a better partner than Senator Casey. So let's hear it again. He is going to get it across the line in the United States Senate. I'm Debbie Dingell. I'm from the great state of Michigan. And I got elected in 2015, and I've been working this issue since the day I walked in the door. I love being with Grandmas Unite. And I love telling the world, care cannot wait. Care cannot wait. I know Senator Casey just reviewed a lot of this with you, so let me, I am happy we got this over the line in the House, and it took a lot of work, but I'm going to first tell you that the man that lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue right now has always been my partner on this. He and I, and Bob Casey, I can't tell you what an honor it is to work with Bob Casey. I started with Joe Biden. I'll tell you my story. I'm just going to talk from my heart today. You guys don't need another prepared speech I was married to the greatest man in the world for almost 40 years. He was smart. And by the way, he was the author of Medicare. He got Medicare through in 1965. His father was the author of Social Security and introduced the first universal health care bill in 1940. And it took to 1965 to get Medicare. And we've been improving it ever since in terms of getting the Children's Health Insurance Program. We've got the Affordable Care Act. We've been not fast enough trying to address prescription drug prices, and hopefully we're going to do that and Build Back Better too. But the day after he retired, he went in the hospital, and the doctor said to me, he may have finished his life's work last night. He may die today. Now, he didn't die for several years. I miss him every day, and I'm having a hard day because Bob Dole was a good friend of his. And we're losing too many people that cared about our country and cared about the country first, and a bunch of bullshit politics after that. That flag stands for something. It stands for United. So I'm having a hard day. But the first person, when he heard that John was in intensive care, Joe Biden and Jill were at that hospital in a few hours. And he too has had a child who ultimately didn't make it, who needed to have care too. And you don't understand how broken the system is until you're in it. You don't. You just don't. So, I'm supposed to know how to work a system. I'm supposed to know what to do when you suddenly become aware of 90-day rules. You can't, there were days that have you ever tried to get Medicare and your primary insurance giver and all you do is push numbers and everybody sends you which way and you just take your head and you knock it against the wall and you just want to cry? So then I finally gave up and I called my congresswoman. She wasn't able to help me. But then John did get better. And, initially he just needed some care. And in the end, we needed, but not for long, but for the last few months, I needed to find full-time care. You all know how hard it is to find care. How do you find a caregiver? And how do you make sure the woman that I ended up, the one woman is a member of my family. Christine still is a member of my family to this day. You can't leave somebody you love like I did when I had to come vote here at home unless you've got somebody you really trust. And then, I had for the beginning, he could be by himself. I just didn't want him alone at night. And then it got harder. And I was lucky enough. I had another job. I had a pension. He had a pension. Wasn't cheap, but I could afford it. I could afford to have something, and I believe in paying a decent wage. And that's what's the most important part about all of this, too. You are taking care of the most important person in my world and in somebody else's world. And we need to pay the person for what it's worth to take care of the person that you love. You know, and I had a lot of challenging times in there. Finding somebody you could trust. I had 1 or 2 bad moments where someone stole drugs. You know what it's like. And so this has been, and Joe Biden promised me back then, didn't promise me, he was like me. He was a father trying to help his son and his family and kids. You know what? We're caregivers. We are people that had people that we needed help giving care to give to. So we know when people like us that are luckier than 99 and 9/10 of the people in this country are in a broken system you cannot navigate, it needs to be fixed. So that's what Bob Casey and I are trying to do. We got it through the House. You know, there are almost 1 million people right now that are on the waiting list for home-based community care. You know, you've worked your whole life. When you've worked and you've earned it, you have the right to live in the home that's your home. That's in a community where you know people, this is where you want to spend those days of your life you've worked hard to have. And that's what we're trying to do in home and community-based care, that people should be able to stay in their own home, get the care that they need, and pay the caregivers the worth that they have. So you are the human faces, like me. We need you. Grandmas and grandpas, unite. We need you. We got to get it over the finish line in the United States Senate. And trying to get the United States Senate to do anything can be challenging. But we're going to do it. And you're all being here on this Thursday in December gives me hope. Because you got to go talk to those that represent you. Tell them why it matters. And I can't wait that when I can stand with Senator Bob Casey and President Joe Biden and celebrate Care Can't Wait. We delivered. Thank you. And have a really good holiday, too. All I want for Christmas is this bill. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. And as you all can see firsthand, we couldn't be luckier to have Senator Bob Casey and Representative Debbie Dingell as our champions on HCBS. It's so exciting to be in such good company at this moment when we're so close to passing Build Back Better. Yeah. The bill truly has the potential to transform care and caregiving in America, to make caregiving a communal responsibility, not an individual one. Yeah, you can bring, the bill is here, so we're going to bring the Build Back Better bill up. I know you have trouble seeing, so I'll have you. Perfect. Our coalition has made fantastic progress. We've secured a place for childcare, paid family leave, home and community-based services, and so many other important policies in this bill. Our grandmothers have taught lessons about caring. In my family, we say love is a verb, and caring is also a verb. For our own families and for our own families, all of us are providing care. Now we need those values of care to shape national policy and Build Back Better. Previous opinion polls have shown that social policies in the bill are highly popular with the American public, but we wanted to know what grandparents think about this bill. We did some polling and we learned that during the pandemic, grandparents have been deeply involved in caregiving for children, grandchildren, and loved ones with disabilities. 59% of them say that they provided care in the past year. Of those grandparents, 75% provided child care, and 64% assisted with transportation, errands, housework, cooking, or home repairs. We found that grandparents see Build Back Better as offering even greater benefits for their children and grandchildren than it does for them. 57% said their kids and grandkids would benefit, while only 45% saw advantages for themselves. That's what grandparents do, right? They care more for us than we care for them. So even though there are plenty of grandparents, including my own grandmothers and grandfather, Bob, Lucy, and Helen, who all have their own unique needs for care, grandparents still, with those needs, would rather see the advantages, and that's why they support overwhelmingly the Build Back Better bill. Grandparents know the economic and family demands on their children, and they consider this bill an answer to those pressures. Mr. Bill, here next to me, is ready to become a law, and it's long overdue. Let's get Build Back Better through both houses of Congress, through the Senate, and onto the president's desk now. The time has come, and CARE can't wait. So, Mr. Bill, I don't know if you want to just say like the grandma. Let's hear from the grandma.
Thank you, grandmas. Thank you, abuelas. Thank you, caregivers. All I want for Christmas is to become a law. Make my wish come true this Christmas. CARE can't wait. 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 Thank you all so much. Let's make it happen, everyone.
Thank you. I'll start you off in a second. Grandmothers should be taking center stage today, so I'd now like to introduce you to a grandma I am lucky to know well, Kim Goodloe. She's a grandmother from Virginia, the mother of children with disabilities, and she leads the board of directors for the ARC of Virginia. Kim?
Well, when Nicole asked me to speak today, I didn't realize that I was going to be speaking before celebrities. I just cannot thank ADAPT enough for all that you have done to promote disability rights. So thank you very much for having me here. The Build Back legislation is vital to people with disabilities. My family and thousands of families like mine. As you all know, I'm Kim Goodloe. I'm from Virginia. I am the mother of 3 children and Graham to my 2 granddaughters, Emery and Maya. My twin boys were born with a disease called tuberous sclerosis, which caused developmental delays and very different support needs. Matthew waited for a Medicaid waiver for over 17 years, and during those 17 years, our family's health, financial situation, and small business suffered tremendously. These waivers are vital to keeping families and businesses running. Once Matthew received his waiver, my husband and I had time to dedicate to our metals manufacturing business. Our son Christopher received his Medicaid waiver after waiting more than 20 years and has had that waiver now for 2 years with little to no ability to hire someone to support him. The reimbursement rate to hire someone is lower than what the provider has to pay. My husband and I are praying that he does not lose this waiver because they cannot fill the position. The $150 billion in the Build Back Better legislation is vital to get these waivers funded so home and community-based services can be successful. The data is already there. It is shown that home and community-based services are less costly and offer people with disabilities a better quality of life and more opportunities to work. Medicaid waivers have been underfunded since their inception, and COVID really shined a light on this. It also showed us that people who were supported in small settings, or better yet, in their own homes, did better when it came to contracting COVID. A successful business cannot find qualified people if they do not offer a livable wage. We've learned that with our own business. Benefits, paid time off, and retirement. Anyone who has a business knows that keeping employees brings your costs down. It saves on HR and training costs, your service is better, morale improves, and the list goes on and on. Retentions of employees in HCBS is even more vital because people with disabilities do better when their direct support providers that support them are not constantly changing. My granddaughters, Emery and Maya, were born with eye and kidney problems and have been going through genetic testing to find its cause. They are currently doing very well, and their symptoms are handled with medication. None of us knows what the future holds, but if my granddaughters require support, or if they have children one day who need support, this legislation could start moving us in the right direction now, so they would not have to suffer what you are all suffering today and generations before you have suffered. My last point is this. I do not understand why it is met with such resistance, but every Medicaid dollar that is used to pay a direct support professional goes right back into the community that they serve. They shop at the local grocery store, they eat at local restaurants, and they spend the money in the community, and that supports the community. They are job creators. Medicaid is a job creation program. People with disabilities and their families need the Build Back Better Act and its investments in home and community-based services, paid leave, and updates to SSI. As a grandma, I want my kids and grandchildren and everyone's kids and grandkids to have access to all the support they may need throughout their life. Build Back Better makes that happen. And thank you all for being here.
Care can't wait. Care can't wait. Thank you so much, Kim. I mean, it's just like, you can't make it more plain how this helps the economy, is the right thing to do. We just have to stay steadfast, and all of these electeds and workers and grandmas are just trying to pledge their support and make it plain. I now have the pleasure of introducing Representative Sarah Jacobs of California. Representative Jacobs has a track record of working to reduce child poverty and make our economy equitable. Two of the goals of the Build Back Better plan.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm also from San Diego, so I'm deeply impressed that so many of you are sitting out here in the cold right now. I just want to thank the National... Yeah, right? Get some blankets. I want to thank the National Domestic Workers Alliance, Moms Rising, Caring Across Generations, SEIU, and the Care Can't Wait Coalition for organizing this. I'm so excited to be here with so many grandmas and care workers. That's right. I am so grateful that I've been able to speak with some of you earlier today and to hear your stories. And I think we can all agree, in so many families and communities, including my own, if you really need something done, you call grandma. And right now, we really need something done. We need the Senate to pass the Build Back Better Act. And our message is very clear. Care can't wait. Care can't wait. That's right. That's right. You know, next week, the last child tax credit check is going to go out. And after that, the program is going to expire. So when you hear some of my colleagues say that what we need is more time, there's no rush, they're clearly not listening to the American people, because people are counting on us. And if we don't get this done, a lot of families who are expecting assistance on January 13th aren't going to get it. In my district in San Diego alone, the monthly payments have already helped 129,000 kids. 129,000 kids. Just in my district. We've gotten $32.7 million to local families. And nationwide, we've seen a massive reduction in child poverty. So it makes no sense to lift millions of kids out of poverty for a few months, only to let them fall back down. So I am proud to join grandmas here, grandmas in San Diego, grandmas across the country, all of the care workers, to keep working to get this bill over the finish line, because it's not just the child tax credit. We need the Build Back Better Act to establish paid leave, create free and universal pre-K, lower child care and family care costs, raise wages for care workers. And that's what makes this legislation truly historic. Because for so long, we based our economic policies around men. We focused on job creation and wages in historically male fields, and we left everyone else on the sidelines. We assumed the domestic and care responsibilities would be taken care of by unpaid and underpaid women. But this time is different, and it's because of the work of those with us today and so many others who demanded better. And that includes all the grandmas, because we certainly would not be here without all of you. That's right. Doing things the way we have always done them just isn't good enough anymore. It's costing our economy $1 trillion in lost GDP because millions of parents and caregivers can't afford the care they need to work. It's costing us another $1 trillion due to the adverse effects of childhood poverty. But we don't have to accept this, because the investments that we make in kids pay off across a lifetime. We actually save $7 for every $1 we invest in early childhood programs. So there are a lot of parents and grandparents who know that the way things are just isn't working. There are too many families without affordable childcare, too many primary caregivers without paid leave, too many families having to drain their bank accounts to afford care, and it's because of all of your work that I truly believe we're going to actually make change. So thank you so much for sitting out here in the cold, for everything that you're doing to help get this bill across the finish line. I am so honored to be doing this work alongside all of you. Thank you so much.
Care can't wait. Can't wait. Care can't wait. We got to keep ourselves focused on the goal. You know, it occurs to me with all of our grandparents out there that we have always relied on our coalitions. We've always relied on advocates, our church communities, our experts in our communities. And this is no exception. This fight doesn't happen just because grandparents have resolve, though that's a backbone. It also happens because we have some fantastic advocates working with us in this Build Back Better campaign, getting it across the finish line. And you're going to hear from one of them right now, Don Huckelbridge, who is the director of Paid Leave for All.
Hey, everybody, good afternoon. And thank God for grandmas. Thank God for grandparents. Thank you to each of you here today or listening. Oh, yes, or working to care for your families every single day. My name is Dawn Huckelbridge. I'm the director of Paid Leave for All, and we represent dozens of groups across the country leading the fight for paid family and medical leave for every working person in this country. Yes, that is, clap. And thinking about this event, I was thinking about my own grandparents, their parents. I was thinking about the American dream, the one that they were all able to live. My grandparents who were farmers, who've been able to keep family farms throughout generations. My grandparents who were immigrants, who came from the Middle East, who were able to enter this country seeking opportunity and asylum. My great-grandmother who made that passage, taught herself English, met suppliers and merchants across New York State, became one of the only women competing with men in the peddling business, who went on to educate all of her children, including her daughters at that time through university, to grow a family of entrepreneurs and politicians and teachers. What are we going to do to ensure that the American dream stays alive? That working families can still raise a family that has more opportunity than they did? That working families can raise families at all in this country? I think about my parents, now grandparents to 7, my father who grew up on a farm, but had always dreamed about building bridges, who served in the Army, put himself through school, became a professor of engineering, who has designed and built roads and bridges, who specializes in stress and fatigue, seismic shifts, and resilience, in building things that will withstand. And while he, my father, the engineer, celebrates the historic investments we've made in hard infrastructure, in our roads and bridges, he also knows that families and caregivers are stressed, that they are fatigued, that we are fatigued, that there are cracks up and down, that we have no girding, we have no infrastructure. And he has said himself, how do we provide care for those in need has at least as much to do with the health and well-being of our society as roads, bridges, airports, schools, and grids. That's right. And when I gave birth, I was only able to hold on to my job and my paycheck because my parents came to be grandparents. They came to care for my newborn. I didn't have enough paid leave. The majority of Americans in this country have none. My mother would hold my baby so that I could sleep a little bit, so I could shower. My father taught my son to walk because I couldn't be there. And I hope that when my parents need care themselves one day, that I can care for them without worry, because by then, surely, our country will have caught up with the rest of the world by ensuring that all of us can access the common sense protections of paid leave, of childcare, and of home and community-based services. That would be real resilience in this country. That would be real infrastructure in this country. Paid leave and care as a whole, they undergird our economy. It's as important as roads, as bridges, as bricks and mortar. And if you don't see that, question why. And if you value the people who perform that work and the work that it requires, this work is what has held us all together the last few years. Held our country, our families, our economy together. And we have only weathered this pandemic at all. We have only withstood these seismic shifts because of the sheer strength and the unvalued labor of our caregivers and many of you. We are here because of our caregivers, including our grandmas and our grandparents across this country. So it's past time that we build back better. And that we build a care infrastructure that will actually withstand. With childcare, home and community-based care, and paid leave intact and in this package and passes in the Senate and is signed by the president. It is what the voters demand, and it is what this moment requires. So there are no excuses, and I'm here to say, let's get this done. Thank you.
Care can't wait. Care can't wait. We ain't playing around with this. It is my distinct privilege and honor to just do a point of personal privilege as I introduce Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro from Connecticut, because this woman doesn't mess around. Her reach is not just about the House of Representatives. Folks in the Senate also respect her. Folks in our progressive movement respect her because she puts her money where her mouth is and she don't play. She cares about leadership of women. She cares about the goals and the aspirations we have as grandmothers, grandparents, and workers all across the globe. Her seat as the chair of the House Appropriations Committee is very important. And I just personally look up to her, and I'm so glad that she was able to take some time while she's like twisting arms and breaking necks to get our Build Back Better plan passed, that she took some time to talk to us. Representative, take the stage.
Thank you. My gosh, thank you. And really intrepid folks here out in the cold today, but it is worth it. And care cannot wait. Care cannot wait. Amen, amen, amen. And thank you so much for being here. And I want to just say this to Valerie and her great leadership, etc. SEIU, ever strong, and thank you so much. But there's such a collection of organizations who are working on this effort and have been over, for years and years and years. We've got Moms Rising, the National Domestic Workers Alliance, Caring Across Generations, and obviously the Care Can't Wait effort. And they put together this event, and it is a powerful coalition, my friends. And I will just say that as a grandmother, it gives grandmothers across the country a platform to share their stories and decades of experiences. It is grandmothers. We all look to our grandmothers, and we build on their shoulders for what they did and having to make a difference, and that's what all of you are doing. And to my grandkids, I am known as Bubby, Bubbie, Bubby. And so, when they go by the Capitol, there it is right there behind me. When they ride by the Capitol, they say, that's where Bubby works. And yes, that is where I work. And that is a place where we can work to make a difference in the lives of families and children in this country. That is what this campaign is all about. And it is about passing in the Senate Build Back Better. You know what is happening to families today? They are struggling. They struggle. They live paycheck to paycheck, and they cannot make it. They're trying to pay their bills. They try to pay their taxes, and it's got to be the government that is looking out for middle-class families, for working families, for the most vulnerable, people who work hard every single day. And in the past, what have we seen, my friends, over the past decades? We have seen the federal resources go to the richest 0.1% of the people in this country, and to the corporations, the biggest corporations, who refuse to pay their fair share of taxes. That has changed. That is what Build Back Better is about. That is what the infrastructure bill is about. That is what the American Rescue Bill was all about. Changing the focus of federal dollars and making sure that it is those working families, those middle-class families, and the most vulnerable out there. That's where we're going to focus our dollars. That's where we're going to help them to have an economic, secure future. And that is what is so important in this effort. We mentioned child care. How do women go to work if they don't have child care? How does that? It doesn't happen. And in this pandemic, 3.2 million women left the workforce. They were pushed out. They didn't opt out of the workforce. And that is something that we can rectify. And you know that families in Build Back Better, in this bill, families will not have to pay more than 7% of their income in order to be able to afford child care, because we know how expensive it is. Paid family and medical leave. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer some 30 years ago. When I went to my boss, who was then Senator Christopher Dodd, he said to me, Rosa, go get well. Your job is here. Your paycheck is here. I had 3 kids going to school. How are we going to be able to afford it without a paycheck? He allowed me to go and get myself well, and at the same time not have to worry about where my paycheck was coming from. Not 4 years ago, my mom passed away at age 103, and I was a member of the Congress at that time. I spent day and night with her the last 6 weeks of her life, and nobody said, Rosa, you're no longer a member of the Congress. We're not going to pay you. Your job is no longer here. Well, my friends, if it is good enough for staff who work for members of Congress, as I did, or members of Congress, then it's good enough for everyone in the United States. And that's what paid family and medical leave is all about. I'm going to just give you one more, because Mary Beth is here, and she's going to talk about what the child tax credit means to families today. and I am the author of that legislation. It took me 18 years to get it in the American Rescue Plan. It is there, and I will tell you, we're going to keep it there. We got payments. It's got to be passed. Build Back Better's got to be passed because those payments will end on December 31st, and we are not going to throw kids back into poverty in this country or be hungry anymore. And we already know that the child tax credit has worked. We're lowering the hunger rate in this country, and we are also lifting almost 3.5 million kids out of poverty. It is so critical that we move in this direction. And as I said, I'll end here. We have an opportunity to build the architecture for the future, to make sure that families in this country are secure economically. And for the first time in decades, my friends, the federal investments are focused on families and not the richest, the wealthiest, and the big corporations who refuse to pay their fair share of taxes. So together, we can do it. Let's never be afraid to stand up and speak out for what is the right thing to do. Thank you. God bless you for being here today. Thank you.
I never get enough of that, right? So Representative DeLauro actually already introduced her, but let me just introduce a fellow grandmother, Mary Beth Cochran from Moms Rising, that we need to hear from. She's both a grandmother and a caregiver from North Carolina. Mary Beth? You missed your cue, sister. Give her some love. It's all right.
Thank you. Hey. Hello, my name is Mary Beth Cochran, and I live in Canton, North Carolina, a rural town with less than 5,000 residents. I'm a proud mother, grandmother, and member of Moms Rising. About 7 years ago, I took in my granddaughter, who is now 12, and my grandson, who is now 7.5, because their parents were battling addiction and couldn't care for them. I also share custody of their two sisters, who are now ages 8 and 13, with my youngest daughter, who I have joint custody, and that's their aunt. I work hard, but have struggled enormously to care for my grandkids and provide for their needs. During the pandemic, it's been close to impossible. Before the pandemic, I worked Kmart to supplement my disability check. I carefully juggled schedules with my daughter since we couldn't afford childcare. It was hard to make each paycheck last. I was constantly struggling to figure out which bills to pay and how we sure had enough food to last the month. I was furloughed from my job, then permanently laid off. Schools went remote and I had no childcare, so I couldn't look for a new job. Losing more than half of my income put us in crisis. We really struggled with food. Last year I didn't have a car, so sometimes I had to ask people for rides to the food pantry. I also had to stop filling my prescription medicines so I could buy my growing grandkids basic needs like thrifted clothes. Sorry, folks. I've tried to put on a brave face for my grandkids, but it was hard. Some days I would just sit down and cry. It's hard when your 6-year-old asks why the tooth fairy has stopped coming, or when my 12-year-old granddaughter anxiously asks if we have enough food to last the month. It breaks my heart. The monthly child tax credit payments have been a huge relief. We've finally been able to get out of the vicious cycle of struggling to choose between food, medicine, and bills. I was even able to buy a used vehicle so we could access resources and I could look for jobs. In short, it's given us the stability I've always wanted for my grandkids. If Congress lets the CTC expire after this month, my family and so many others will be forced to make impossible choices again. children will go hungry, grandmas will go without the medications that they need. We need the monthly expanded child tax credit payments to continue, and we need care infrastructure. I started a new part-time job at Walmart about a month ago, but I can't afford after-school care or child care when schools are closed, or even if my grandkids needed to be quarantined, or I did due to COVID. I don't know what we would do. We need paid leave for when we need time off because our kids get sick or we get sick. We need affordable child care. We need to build back better so families like mine can survive and grandchildren like mine can thrive. These are game-changing policies, and they mean so much for my family and so many of others of us. I'm counting on the U.S. Senate to pass Build Back Better this year so I can care for my grandkids now and so we can transform caregiving in this country for generations to come. Thank you so much.
I'll grab her pen. I saw you. I got you. No matter what state, there are advocates and folks fighting for Build Back Better, and our border cities are no exception. I'd like to introduce Representative Veronica Escobar from Texas to give her unique perspective and the fight that's going on in a border city and state. And she is, the leader of the Democratic Women's Caucus. Sorry about that. You got some benefides.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. CARE can't wait. CARE can't wait. CARE can't wait. CARE can't wait. Oh, thank you all so much for making the journey to be here with us in Washington, D.C., for being such strong, incredible advocates, for using your voice to tell Congress that the time has come for CARE and that CARE can't wait. I am Veronica Escobar. I have the incredible privilege of representing El Paso, Texas, the safe and secure border community. And I will tell you, I represent families who are in the exact same position that you have been in for years. This morning, as one of the vice chairs of the Democratic Women's Caucus, I had the privilege of presiding over a powerful but painful panel discussion. We heard from caregivers, care providers, who told us their stories, people like Mary Beth, who have been hanging on by a thread for years, where COVID made their lives even more difficult and more challenging, all because they want to take care of their family, all because they want to live a life with dignity. We have failed in this country. Congress has failed in this country, and we have failed generations of families, generations. That has to stop today with this administration, with this Congress, with all of you right now. And we need the Senate to understand that by doing this, by investing in working families, investing in the care economy, we're not just investing in Americans who are deserving, but we're lifting people up out of poverty. We're helping our economy, and we're putting people on a path to prosperity. Me llamo Verónica Escobar y vengo de la frontera, la comunidad del Paso, Texas. Estoy aquí tan orgullosa con ustedes en esta lucha tan importante para las familias que merecen dignidad, familias que merecen oportunidad. Y la legislación Build Back Better, que el Congreso ya debe de pasar, es algo que va a cambiar vidas, va a mejorar nuestro país. Ya es tiempo. Por generaciones Hemos abandonado a nuestras familias aquí en este país. Pero eso cambia ahorita. Con el liderazgo de todos ustedes, vamos a tener éxito, vamos a ganar y al fin tener un país de dignidad. Thank you all so much for all of your work. We need the Senate to understand that our families deserve dignity. Our families deserve dignity, and CARE can't wait. Thank you all. I love you. CARE can't wait. 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 Thank you all so much. God bless you.
All right, are y'all cold? It's kind of chilly. I just want to acknowledge that because my hands are cold, my face are cold. But thank you for hanging in there because it's actually pretty phenomenal how many members of Congress and community supporters, advocates are here to give us some encouragement to keep the fight up going. And this next person is no exception. Our stories collectively are so essential to remind us while we're doing this and just to remember that we're not alone and to understand why Build Back Better really has to become law. So Deborah McAllister, whose coat I want, of North Carolina, has come to share her experiences caring for her mother and grandchildren. Her grandson calls her Gigi. So let's welcome Gigi. Come on, Gigi.
Let me hear you make some noise. Can't wait, right? Hey, great afternoon, one and all. Are y'all all right? Well, guess what? We're more than conquerors. We're not conquerors. We're more than conquerors. Okay, well, I am Deborah McAllister from the big town of Burgaw. Now, if you ask anybody, where's Burgaw? You know what we're going to say? We're from Wilmington. We're from Wilmington because nobody has ever heard of Burgaw. So I'm here from Burgaw. So as a daughter, mother, and grandmother, I have seen firsthand how essential quality care is across generations. When my mother fell ill, I left my job working for the local government to become her full-time caregiver. Leaving my job, it meant sacrificing my income, financial security, but I did what I had to do to keep my mother at home with the people and things that she loves. Now, this decision that so many working people have to make when a loved one is in need, and it's a decision that often goes unrecognized and unvalued. Do I have any witnesses? All right, now things haven't been easy. Don't get it twisted. Things haven't been easy. See, you don't have to look like what you're going through. And I used to think that as a home care worker, I didn't have a voice. I did what I had to do to help my mother, and that was just the way it was. But when I got involved with the fight for 15 and a union, and I realized the power that speaking up and speaking out can help. This is the third time in the past 4 months that I've come to Washington to speak my truth. I was silent for so long, but I'm here today to speak up for those stories that you may never, ever, ever hear. Now, for the past 3 months, my 3-year-old grandson, Christian, came with me. He stayed with me for a while for 3 long months because my daughter was recovering from an illness. And it was a blessing to be able to share the care for my mother and with my grandson. So great granny got to see her great son, me caring for her great grandson, and my great grandson had the opportunity of seeing me care for his great granny. Christian was just starting his life, and my mother just turned 80 years old. We just gave her a surprise birthday party, and boy, was she surprised. So the need for care can come at any time. Can I get a witness? And we need to be ready to answer the call. So Christian came with me to Washington in September for the first time I spoke in the Capitol. and I watched as members of Congress and care leaders took the podium. Then guess what? It was my turn. When I got up to the microphone, I saw Christian sleeping in his stroller right there in front of me. It was at that moment that I knew that being a caregiver was my calling, but fighting, marching, and advocating is my purpose. So God gave me this big voice, so I must use it. Someone needs to speak up, and it might as well be me. So I speak for the estimated 53 million Americans who provide unpaid care for loved ones. I fall right into that category. I speak for the nearly 40% of family caregivers who left their jobs in the past year to provide care. I fall into that category. I speak for the millions of women and women of color who can't get ahead no matter how hard we work because the system is designed to hold us back. So I fall into that category. So as I speak today for the generations of tomorrow, including my daughters, my two grandsons, and my future great-grandchildren, the future depends on the decisions that we make today. So home care workers make it so people in need can live full, complete lives. We refuse to let people give up, and we refuse to give up on ourselves. So I wake up every day thanking God for good health, a roof over my head, and all the blessings that I have in my life. But I know the time will come when someone will have to take care of me. But with the way things are going right now, and with the way our country treats home care workers do not get the respect, they're not getting the protection, and we're not getting the pay that we deserve. And with that being a reality, we can't attract young people to do this work. That's why I keep organizing, I keep fighting, and I keep speaking my truth. I'm from North Carolina. It's not that cold. It's not as cold back there as it is here. But I put on my coat. I have on some tights under here. And I got some ankle boots. I have some gloves. And I won't allow this little cold or anything to keep me from this microphone and to speak out. I might get nervous, baby, but I ain't afraid. Maybe one day my voice will pass through the right person's ear. How about today? Why can't it be this day? So it's time our country recognizes family caregivers like me who step up to the plate each and every day for loved ones in need. So the Build Back Better Act is a historic investment in care that takes a huge leap forward in ensuring grandparents, parents, aunties, uncles, and our grandbabies can get the care they need, how, when, and where they need it. So the Build Back Better Act would finally bring justice to home care workers and consumers. We are relying on our elected officials to take action. Why? For us, because we're their responsibility. This is serious, and people's lives are on the line. So, to the community leaders, senators, representatives that join us today, I thank you for your commitment in investing in care jobs. I thank you for hearing and seeing home care workers, our clients. But everyone out here today, there is more work to do. Investing in home care workers and our whole care system is crucial to recovering from COVID-19 and creating a safe, brighter future for our families. It's a huge step to create an economy that works for everyone, including future generations, where all working people have a fair shot at opportunity. How about no exceptions? So when we fight, so I know and believe in my heart that change is about to take place. If anybody know Bishop T.D. Jakes, he says, get ready, get ready, get ready. As an essential care worker, we are always worthy of respect, protection, and we need to get paid for the quality care as I provide as a grandmother. Help us all to be an examples and role models that our grandchildren will easily follow so that we can pass the baton and never miss a beat from all the care champions, for all the care champions, to always finish strong by representing us, the working people. May we continue to fight, keep believing what we know is true, and never give up, because what? Giving up is not even an option. We're in this to win this. As a matter of fact, all we do is win, no matter what. That's my time. So thank you, peace, love, and blessings, and a Merry Christmas. And your Christmas present, guess what it's going to be? They're going to pass it. They're going to pass that bill back. Just watch and see. This is Deborah McAllister from North Carolina. Safe travels back home, and have a blessed day.
That sister knows how to bring it, doesn't she? She's spoken in the atmosphere. It has been laid out, and if one or more people agree, the word says it shall be done. Thank you, Grandma Gigi. And to answer that call, you got a big thing to follow up on, Senator. Senator Wyden has always stood with us to ensure working people are respected, protected, and paid, and families have access to the care they need. We're fortunate to have Senator Wyden's support for Build Back Better and to have him join us today to answer that challenge that Grandma Gigi laid out. Thank you, Senator.
I just told Grandma Gigi that her message sure got in my ear. And I'm chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, which is the committee with some modest responsibilities, like, for example, protecting seniors and the disabled and vulnerable people from getting mugged when they try to afford their medicine at the pharmacy counter. And we're in charge of the home health issue. And what I'm going to go back and tell my colleagues, because we're having meetings right now, is this is a chance to do more of what folks want, which is to get care at home from wonderful caregivers at a price that is much less than the institutional care, the nursing homes. So I just wanted to come by for a minute to make common cause with all of you. I was director of the Oregon Gray Panthers for a while. Where are the Gray Panthers? I heard some of them were here. And I got to tell you, one of the most exciting moments in my time in public life was writing the bill to promote kinship care. You know what kinship care is all about? The grandmas. It's all about the grandmas, who we all know step in so often when folks in a family, and guess what, that's the real world, sometimes have some challenges. Sometimes somebody got laid off work. Sometimes somebody got in an accident. Who steps in? The grandmas. So I'm going to have to take off in a minute, but I want to make sure, who do we believe in? I say grandmas. Who do we believe in? I can almost hear you. Who do we believe in? Once more, who do we believe in? Folks, we are so close to passing Build Back Better. It is so close. We can practically taste a victory because we know we're on the side of people. We're on the side of families. We're on the side of seniors. We're on the side of people who think that in the strongest, richest country on earth, people shouldn't be cutting their pills in half in order to afford their medicine. So I just wanted to come by for a minute. I was so glad that Grandma Gigi said it so well. I think a lot of people were also envious because she had that warm coat. And I want you to know the next time we get together, we're going to be looking at the President of the United States on television, signing Build Back Better into law. God bless everybody.
Whether it's racial justice, economic justice, voting rights, climate change, there is nothing more important for us than to have coalition. The CARE work is right in the middle of that because it transitions and it segues across all of those fights that we all work together in partnership. Melanie Campbell, President and CEO of the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation and the convener of the Black Women's Roundtable, epitomizes the intersections of those fights, and I am honored to be able to introduce her, to give her us words of encouragement right now. Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you. Didn't I see y'all yesterday? Yes, you all, we were out. Thank you, John, thank you. To the National Domestic Workers Alliance, all of you all for being in this warm weather today. But yeah, yesterday we were out here with Black Women's Roundtable, National Council of Negro Women, and SEIU, and a whole lot of folks. And when you all gave us energy yesterday, can I just say that? You all gave us, we stopped, we were like, yeah, we got to take a minute. Besides the fact we will not heal, you know what I'm saying? But I thank you all so very much. And as my sister stated, this is one movement, right? And one goal. And that goal is to make sure that our people who put it all on the line, that this we the people we talk about all the time, is manifest. And so we have this opportunity to, they call it Build Back Better. I said they need to change the name to Invest in the American People for Economic Security and Opportunity. Because then people understand what you mean. They said invest in infrastructure and jobs. People got that. So that's my commentary to the senators, to maybe change the language a little bit so our people understand the importance and power of it. I'm not a grandma, but I'm an auntie. My mother helped raise some of her grandchildren. My grandmother helped raise some old folks. So it's a connection in the Black community, in many of our communities. The importance of grandma, the importance of aunties, importance of us having the kind of families that it's all connected. It's not just this simple thing about what family looks like. We come in all kinds of shapes, sizes when it comes to families. And so when we talk about caring and making sure that we're able to care, that's what we're really talking about. And with all that we have all gone through with the COVID-19 pandemic, and how I have a nephew and a great who's raising his 10-year-old son who lives with us, and so I see it every day. The challenges that have to be made, so that fathers who are raising their children, grandmas who are helping to raise the children, aunties, whoever. Sometimes it's the next door neighbor helping to raise the children in our community. We have to all ask ourselves the questions. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I saw the determination in you all yesterday that fed into my spirit, and I mean that so sincerely, that we say, yeah, this is why we're doing this, and we are in this fight together. I don't know your names, but I know your spirit. I know your fight. I know this movement. We will win. When we fight, let's get it done. Tell them folks that work for us, do your job. Y'all see my Santa hat. I'm into Christmas. So we said yesterday, don't be a Scrooge. Make sure you pass voting rights. Don't be a Scrooge. Pass. Build Back Better now. Have a safe and happy holiday. We will keep fighting, and we will keep fighting until we win. Thank you.
Sister love in the advocacy community. So keeping on that rhythm, Carol Joyner from Labor Project Director at Family Values at Work is going to take the stage. Another very important coalition partner who isn't always up front, but is always providing infrastructure, always trying to make sure that we are talking and speaking with one voice. Carol?
I saw y'all yesterday. It's so great to see you again today. And I just want to give my great thanks to Val, my favorite grandma, for introducing me, and Mel, hard act to follow. I want to start with the timeless words of A. Philip Randolph, one of the greatest labor leaders of our past. At the banquet table of nature, there are no reserved seats. You get what you can take, and you keep what you can hold. If you can't take anything, you won't get anything. And if you can't hold anything, you won't keep anything. And you can't take anything without organization. When we fight, when we fight, when we fight. All right. I'm Carol Joyner, Labor Project Director at Family Values at Work, and Paid Leave for All activists. Too cold out here for you to see my whole t-shirt, but we've been fighting for paid leave through all the seasons. We were here in the sweltering heat in July and in August, and fighting for Build Back Better, for paid leave, for home and community service, for all of it, all summer long. So I want to thank Caring Across Generations and Moms Rising and SEIU especially, and other organizations for bringing us back together to raise the voices of so many who believe that Build Back Better and all of its critical components are vital for our families, for our communities, and our economy. We're here today to say it's time. It's time for Congress to hold up their end of the bargain. Yes, for grandmothers across the country. I'm not a grandmother. I hope to be one soon. I had grandmothers, and my mother was an amazing grandmother to my children. So I get all that's going to be required of me when I become a grandmother one day. They fulfill a social bargain, a bargain that we've created, caring for the grandchildren, caring for their adult children, and for everyone else. We all deserve the freedom to care. So Build Back Better offers this opportunity to pass a set of policies our families have longed for generations, that our own grandparents and great-grandparents couldn't even imagine, right? Community and care jobs, climate change mitigation, child care and pre-K, Medicare expansion, housing support, paid family and medical leave, and so much more. And now that the administration and Congress has signed the bipartisan infrastructure bill into law, that was monumental in so many ways, and the House, as Rosa DeLauro told us, the House has done its job and passed Build Back Better with paid family and medical leave, it is time for the Senate to act. And ensuring that Build Back Better passes with paid family and medical leave would promote public health, economic security, and racial and gender equity. With the other care policies alone in this bill, it would yield millions of jobs, billions in wages, and trillions in GDP. It would benefit everyone, including women of color, healthcare providers, and other essential workers, all who carried this nation through in its most critical moment when we were on our knees during the pandemic. It's time to build back better and to remember the folks who carried us through. I don't know about you, but shouldn't we join the rest of the world and provide paid family leave as a standard also? So there's a reason that the Family Values at Work Network, my organization, has been so focused on the equity provisions in paid leave. Full wage replacement. So when you take paid leave, you can actually stay home and put food on the table. Including all types of families, because we're not all, one type of family. We come in many different forms, right? And in giving everyone access to the policy so we don't leave people out like they did when they passed the New Deal. We've been fighting in 10 states, including D.C., because we actually should be a state by now. We've been fighting in 10 states to pass paid leave, and we've done that. with all of those equity provisions. And we know that more than 70% of the people in this country who need time to care need it to care for themselves, or a sick family member, or it's a grandparent caring for a child, a grandchild. I used paid leave many, many times to recover from illness and to care for my sick parents. And out of 5 children in my household I grew up in, I was the only one who had access to paid leave. No one else got it from their employer. No one else got it from their union. So this is a critical issue. We cannot just rely on individuals to have it. The entire nation needs paid leave. Aijen, who's not here, but Melanie and Valerie, who are, there's other work that the Senate must do, and it's voting rights. I've heard that as soon as Build Back Better is signed, that the Senate will focus on voting rights, which will ultimately need to require addressing the racist and ancient filibuster. I opened with Randolph's speech because as awesome as all these policies are in Build Back Better, we can't hold any of them if we can't vote. We won't repair our crumbling infrastructure if we can't vote. We won't make progress on immigration reform if we can't vote. We won't cut child poverty and make the child tax credits permanent like they should be if we can't vote. We won't get and keep paid family and medical leave for everyone if we can't vote. We won't cool the planet down by passing climate mitigation policies if we can't vote. And we won't make corporations, billionaires, and even millionaires pay their fair share of taxes if we can't vote. So we've got to keep fighting to the end. We've got to pass Build Back Better. We've got to pass Build Back Better with paid family and medical leave. And we've got to make sure we hold the Senate's feet to the fire around voting rights. When we fight, when we fight, when we fight, thank you.
I'm coming up here together with this sister because this is her first time speaking before a group like this, and she's a little nervous. So I said, we got her, right? We got her.
Thank you.
Jennifer Mount from the National Domestic Workers is all about Build Back Better, and she's all about sharing her views as an immigrant with 21 years of experience in caregiving work. Do it, sister.
Thank you.
Do it.
Greetings, everyone. I know it's a bit chilly out here, but I bring warm greetings from Philadelphia to you all. Thank you. My name is Jennifer Mount, and I've been a home care worker for the past 22 years in Philadelphia. I came from the beautiful Twin Island of Trinidad and Tobago. I came here with my children, my 3 children, to make life better for them and to give them greater opportunities. I am the proud grandmom of 7 grandchildren. However, today I have 6. Reason being is because one passed away from something called, that cancer called glioblastoma multiforme. I think Senator McCain had that. And during that time, I couldn't get time off to spend with my baby girl, my beautiful granddaughter. She was just 4. So today I'm here to really plead and beg and hope and pray that the Senate will pass the Build Back Better plan. I focus very much on providing for a lot of care for other families. And during the pandemic, it was a really bit tough times for all of us. I drove 60 miles every day to earn $14 an hour. Yes, ma'am. 1-4. Before that, I wouldn't like to tell you what I was working for. So I got a couple dollars raise, and guess what? It went right back into gas. And of course, maintenance for my vehicle. during that time, for the 22 years, providing for my family, I wasn't able to really save for retirement. And so now, I may look 21, but I'm close to retirement, okay? and I don't want to really have to depend on my children. My 17-year-old grandson, he's very concerned that what is Grandma Jenny's going to do when retirement comes. And I'm also concerned, but I'm here because I am praying that they do, and yes, they are going to pass the bill, okay? Yes, they are going to pass the bill. So I want, I'm here to plead so that the bill will be passed so that my 17-year-old grandson would not have to worry about what I'm going to do for my retirement. And his focus will be on his education and being able to take care of himself and not me, As I said before, it is so impossible for most of us, for all of us home care workers, to be able to save for, let's call it the rainy days. When we get sick, we take a day off, we don't get pay. So no, we have no sick days. I get 5 paid time off for the year, and I have to work a whole year and more. I should say 40 hours for the year. And I have to work more than a year to get that 40 hours. So today, again, I'm pleading. I'm here because, it's something that has to be passed. During the pandemic, it was really rough for me, more so because when I look at my grandkids, we all had to share the same roof at one point in time, like most families did. And during the pandemic, when I leave at 7 in the morning, my grandson, he was 9, and he would stand at the top of the stairs and said, "Bye, Grandma Jenny. Have a wonderful day." When I come back at home at 9 in the night or 9:30, he did the same thing. "Hi, Grandma Jenny. We love you. How was your day?" But he didn't come close. And that went on throughout the pandemic. And it hurt me because, I couldn't give him a hug. He was concerned that he's going to get COVID from me, right? So, which I understand. And I think all kids at that time, this is what it is. This is how they felt. And this is how some of them are still feeling. We do a wonderful job out here as home health aides, and it is very important that after providing care and giving out all our love and compassion and everything that goes with it in taking care of other people's family, I think we deserve to be able to take care of ourselves and our family. And, this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to invest in care. And as a grandmother, I'm calling and I'm appealing to the Senate to pass the Build Back Better plan. The Build Back Better bill. So that our children and our grandchildren don't have to take care of us. Thank you. Love and light to everyone. Happy holiday. Good to see you guys. And warm greetings.
She said, "I didn't even stick to my speech." She didn't need talking points. She just did the damn thing, right? Great job. And bringing us home, we have Miss Rhoda Gibson from Boston, very much into civil rights and justice for people with disabilities. She's in the fundamentals of ADAPT. I see all the ADAPT family out there. This is one of your own, Miss Rhoda Gibson. I got you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I am not a grandmother or a mother, but I have a lot of friends who have their children and their grandchildren call me grandma or auntie. And they're around me all the time. But my friends, and even if I had grandchildren, I don't want them to have to take care of me because I am needing care. No matter how old you are, if this system is so messed up, I can't remember which speaker was talking about how messed up the system is. Oh, it was Sister Love that was saying how she had to take care of her own mother and all the hoops you got to go through. People don't understand what it takes for us to live and survive during this, especially during this time of COVID and all the help that we need. We need to make sure that people and all people are able to get the care they need because it is much cheaper and much less expensive for us to be living in a affordable, integrated, accessible community where we are able to have someone come in and take care of ourselves. Especially during this time of the pandemic, we have lost so many good workers because they have either got COVID or are afraid of getting it. And not having people to help you get ready and help you live independently is really, really important. And in this age right now, if the Build Back Better bill does not get passed, we could all, and people that are not even injured right now, as they get older, end up in nursing facilities, which is basically being sent to jail. You're locked in, you're locked down, and you're told you can't go out, you can't do this. They tell you what time to go to bed, what time to eat, and sometimes what to wear. Does everyone want to go into that system? No. What do we want? We want to live independently in an integrated, affordable, accessible community and have our home and community-based services the way we can, and what we need in order to live independently, so we can continue to go to school, go to work, go out into restaurants with our friends and family, and enjoy these holidays. Christmas is coming up. Those people that are stuck in freaking nursing homes, they rather be in their own home, but they're now being given, what did they give? That processed white turkey meat with dried up stuffing and that gravy that tastes like it came out of a can. Come on now, that's not any way to celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving for that matter. So we want to live in our own homes, not nursing homes, our homes. Our homes. Our homes. Our homes. What do we need Manchin to do? Pass Build Back Better. Build Back Better. Build Back Better. Okay. Thank you, Tamika. All right. So no matter who you are, whether you have grandchildren or not, your grandchildren should not be your caregivers because they are young and they have a life. And it is hard work. Only if they want to go in that profession. We need to get our caregivers, especially the union workers with SEIU in other states, to get that minimum wage of at least $15. Right now, I am proud to say that in Massachusetts, the rate is at $16 an hour, but for COVID, all personal care attendants, PCAs, are getting $17.71 during COVID. It's supposed to end December 31st, but they may extend it. But 1771 in Massachusetts, where it costs at least $2,200 to get a one-bedroom apartment a month, is not enough. So we need to go up on ours, but we need to make sure that those states that are paying, can I say that word, shit? Paying shit needs to be getting $15 an hour, because personal care attendants, they do a lot of work. That is hard work. And we appreciate it as consumers. They use those people. So we need Build Back Better pass. What do we need? What do we need? What do we need? Thank you, everyone. And let's make sure that we don't have to come back here in January and tell them again.
I'm not even trying to follow that. Because there's nothing else to be said. Thank you, everybody. I think we got our message to the Senate. I think we helped inspire each other to remind ourselves that we're so close. We're almost at the finish line. We got to make sure those senators get some backbone and don't mess around with this, because we have resolve. We have God on our side. I truly believe that. And I appreciate everybody being out here. It's chilly. I know people are cold. Thank you for hanging to the end. And God bless and have a great holiday.